Hello there, a fine and pleasant Sunday to come for many of us. It did start off on a relatively misty note in places, certainly some murk and fog around this misty scene from Kent earlier on today. But for most of us, there's going to be a good dose of this. Plenty of sunshine to be had. This scene was from yesterday in Pontypridd, Wales, and there'll be relatively similar scenes throughout Sunday as well. It's all thanks to an area of high pressure that has established itself across great swathes of the UK, keeping things relatively fine and settled. Just a watch point for the north of Scotland though, this trailing cold front that will be bringing relatively light and patchy rain throughout this afternoon. Generally quite drizzly in nature, but a fairly cloudy day for the Northern Isles, the Outer Hebrides and parts of the Highlands as well. There will be some lingering cloud perhaps across parts of the Irish Sea and down towards coast, maybe Devon, Cornwall as well. But head further inland, there'll be plenty of sunshine with lighter winds as well for much of Northern Ireland into Wales and England. Should be a relatively pleasant day. Those temperatures will be responding to that sunshine, climbing into the mid-20s for a good chunk of England and Wales. 26 degrees Celsius likely to be top temperature across parts of eastern England, but even 25 across eastern Scotland as well. Just held back a touch more further towards the west where we do hold on to that cloud. But a relatively fine end to the evening for many of us, where we have seen those sunny intervals, and we'll see clear intervals overnight as well. That will allow the mist and fog to return though, perhaps tonight most extensively for parts of Lincolnshire down towards East Anglia, but also with lighter winds easing off for Northern Ireland, also into southern Scotland. It could turn quite murky here as well. Most of us, though, will have a relatively mild night, temperatures holding up around 13-14 degrees Celsius in a lot of our towns and cities. But where those winds are lightest for Northern Ireland through to Northern England, could just turn a touch fresher, and rural areas may drop down into single figures. But for many of us, once that early mist and fog does clear its way off, again, Monday will be a fairly fine day. Mother Nature sort of realising that the kids are going back to school for many of us and providing a good dose of sunshine for many where they are staying inside. But if you do get the chance to head outside, it should be a relatively pleasant day. Quite breezy for parts of the West Country, around coast of Devon and Cornwall, could turn quite blustery here, so that will just take the edge off things. But further north, that rain is going to be clearing pretty much all areas apart from Shetland, so whilst the rain will linger here for the Highlands, the Inner Hebrides, Monday should be a fairly fine and a better day compared to Sunday once that cloud has cleared its way through. Temperatures with the extra sunshine climbing up once again by at least a few degrees or so in places. Once again, 25 possible across eastern Scotland, but quite widely into the mid-20s for Northern Ireland, into central southern Scotland and Northern England as well. The high 20s though for Wales down into southern England, climbing towards that 29 degrees Celsius mark. Will certainly feel quite hot in that sunshine. Whilst it is September, do remember that UV levels are still moderate at this time of the year, so it is definitely worth thinking about skin protection if you are heading outside, and do stay hydrated in that heat as well. A fairly fine end to the day for the vast majority of us. Some late sunny spells to enjoy, and then clear intervals persisting into the overnight period as well. The world, again, still be quite breezy across the far southwest, turning gusty across the Banau Brycheiniog and up towards Eryri as well. And we might start to see a little bit of mist and fog developing and some low cloud along some North Sea coastal areas and down towards southeast Northern Ireland as well. And as we head throughout the rest of the week, there is still potential that some coastal areas may be plagued a touch more by cloud, but head further inland and there will still be a fair amount of sunshine to be had. And thanks to the southerly winds that we're going to start to pick up, we could climb even higher in terms of those temperatures, climbing towards 30 degrees Celsius. We haven't seen that for 2 months. We have to go all the way back to the 7th of July since we last recorded 30 degrees Celsius in the UK. 30.2 there as the max temperature we had in July. And really, most of summer may have been reversed for what most have expected. Those top temperatures really were back towards June, so it is a late dose of summer here in this first week of September. But we'll have plenty more updates as we head over the forthcoming week, so do stay up to date with that, and you'll find all that information across our social media channels, so make sure you're following us here as well. And of course, we'll be back on YouTube, the website and on the app with all the latest. Bye bye.